Alrighty, Super Benny here, and today this is my reaction to the state of play for all the new sort of PlayStation games coming out. And yeah, it was fantastic, really. There's a lot of cool things coming out, and for the PS5, this kind of library is really starting to liven up. And we've had some fantastic games already. We've had James Bond, we've had Resident Evil, Crimson Desert out there. So there's loads of cool stuff this year. This was none short of, it's going to be a pretty expensive month coming at the end of summer, so don't go too crazy this summer. There's a lot of cool games coming out. So let's get into what they had at this presentation. There was Wolverine. That's coming September 12th. Yeah, it looks really, really good. A lot of sort of more linear based action, and it's kind of a bit more kind of really cool and fun, very violent as well, which I think it works a little bit better than like an open world like Spider-Man. I kind of like that a bit more. Yeah, looks really good. Fun mutants, fun bad guys, really, really sort of true to the lore and that kind of stuff of like the X-Men. Yeah, looks brilliant. So yeah, pretty excited about that one. They also showed a little bit more of Marvel Tokon, which is like a fighting game. I think it's like a 3-on-3 or a 4-on-4. A lot of cool characters in it from again from like Marvel. I think there was like they showed some new characters like Doctor Doom. There was Carnage there who looked really sick. The animation looks brilliant. I think it's the team from Guilty Gear. So yeah, it looks a very exciting fighting game. Rayman Legends Retold. I think it's a remake of one of the old sort of Rayman games. I remember Rayman back in the day. Yeah, this looks kind of very similar to like Ratchet and Clank. A very good sort of family game. So yeah, that might be something interesting to play with like your younger ones. I know a lot of yourselves are like dads like me. So yeah, that'll be cool. Boncho the Chef, which is almost like sort of prequel to Dave the Diver, follows the chef and his first arrival to like sort of Japan and learning how to make sushi. That's right up my street. It's very sort of chilled, laid back sort of games, and to see a bit more from Dave the Diver's kind of world is brilliant for me. So yeah, that interests me. Kemuri, that could be maybe a hidden gem, maybe in the future. I really liked what was it? Ghost. I can't remember. Ghost Hunter, Ghost in the Wire. It was from Shinji. I'll put it here. I'll put it here. I'll remember. But yeah, it's kind of with like lore chasing with like sort of like spirits and hunting them down and free running. Yeah, could be cool. I like the kind of the idea behind it, the mythology and that kind of stuff, and Japanese sort of elements in there. Could be okay. Could be okay. We're not sure about that one. I have to see a bit more. We had a bit more look at Tomb Raider. Tomb Raider looked pretty cool. Kind of very similar again to like sort of James Bond. I think it's from the Amazon sort of studios. A lot of games are coming out very sort of similar to this new sort of style. Looks very sort of more clean and more sort of more movie like, I would say, where you used to like the 3D sort of models in the past. Looks interesting. I really liked the last sort of Tomb Raider sort of games. They were really, really cool. So I'd go play those as well, get you in the mood for those. They're very sort of similar to like Uncharted and that kind of thing. More Tomb Raider, yeah, you can't go wrong. We're not reinventing the wheel here, but it should be a good little adventure, I reckon. That's what did they say? That's February, so that'll be coming early sort of next year. What else was there? The Lost Wild. Now this looked kind of very interesting. It's probably sort of the closest you're gonna get to like a Dino Crisis. Yeah, scary dinosaurs, jump scares, going around, little adventure, open environment. Looks alright, yeah. Looks okay. Again, have to see a little bit more, but looks promising. Looks very promising. Phantom Blade Zero. Apparently, they're going to do like a full sort of presentation of that. Um, I'm not sure if that's going to interest me, but if you like your Souls-like games, I'm sure like those, if you like Wukong and all that kind of stuff, so for those types of people, I think that'll be up your street. Dune Awakening, I'm not a big massive fan of the film. I like the old film, like the old like sort of 80s one. The newer sort of stuff. This one's a bit kind of like world building and Helldivers esque, or I don't know. It's kind of a build up your own sort of little Dune world and fly around it. I don't know. It's not really interesting to me, that one. Dynasty Warriors free remastered. Once you've played one Dynasty Warriors game, you've kind of played them all. But I remember playing that back on the Xbox, PlayStation 2, the early ones. They're always good fun, and there's no harm adding these things to the library. If you've never played a Dynasty Warriors, maybe that one's a good one to start off with. But you can find them generally like super, super cheap anyway. No Rest for the Wicked did look kind of a thing for me. Onimusha, a little bit more. Probably Onimusha is probably going to be my least sort of favorite Capcom game sort of coming out. That one was September 25. I'm going to give the demo a go and see if that changes my mind. But it's very sort of similar to like Ninja Gaiden and all that kind of stuff, and it does kind of drag all this hack and slash, much like Devil May Cry. For me personally, I find that very sort of grindy and doesn't always float my boat. So yeah, I think I might give Onimusha a miss, but for plenty of people who are fans of the old sort of stuff, they'll be excited about that. Silent Hill Townfall, that's coming. We already saw that. To be fair, the graphics look very good. Silent Hill games are not usually my cup of tea. I might play Ill instead, which is coming out as well, which they showed super, super brutal and a bit too scary and a bit too much, I would say. Even for a horror game, there is some scariness and weirdness and gore, but this Ill looks like a bit too much, a bit like Scorn and that kind of thing. Silent Hill Townfall, for you fans, that should be coming out September 24th. So you got that September 24th. You've got Onimusha September 25. And then you had also Wolverine September 12th. So, and then the Dynasty Warriors remastered. This is all coming like September or October. So a big push into Christmas. It's nice to see like we're getting some actual like more games added to the PS5 library. So that too is pretty cool, isn't it? Ace Combat 8 looked pretty interesting actually. I quite like Ace Combat 7. I'm not usually an Ace Combat kind of sort of guy, but I really respect the graphics. I really respect what they're doing with that franchise, and it's very, very interesting. I really, really like the sort of the campaign and some of the fun in that, and yeah, it does look exciting. Um, I don't know if I'm not very good at playing those sort of games, but I find it very exciting. I kind of like Ace Combat. So it's good to see more Ace Combat racking up to the eighth one already. So that is also coming out October 2nd. So the end of September into early October. Wow. Yeah, I mean, you've got to pick one. I'll probably pick Wolverine, but further down the line after Christmas, January, February, these will be dirt cheap, won't they? So there's no rush, there's no FOMO. Take your time, innit? Stuntman Hollywood looked pretty interesting as well. That's something that's probably going to be on the PlayStation Store in the future, but it was very, very cool to see some like really cool action moments with like the Back to the Future car and Knight Rider, and yeah, very, very cool. I think that's like, didn't they used to do an old sort of Stuntman on early sort of like PS2, Xbox kind of era? Yeah, I'm pretty sure that was a thing, wasn't it? Control Resonant, if you're a fan of like the Control universe, it does look pretty exciting. I don't know if I'm a massive fan of that. I like Evil Within and that kind of stuff. I'm not sure if Control environment and the whole sort of story resonates with me. There's plenty of franchises around. I'm not sure I'm going to have time for it, but it does look interesting. I respect the graphics. Uh, I don't know if I have time for that, to be honest. Marathon Season 2, more of the same. Another sort of battle royale shooter. I gave it a go, wasn't my thing. But cool, I think you can give that a little go as well. They're doing that. RuneScape, they did a bit of stuff saying what's coming to PlayStation Plus. I feel PlayStation Plus is a bit sort of disrespected in a way. I don't think they offer too much. They have a wide variety of PS2, PS3 library to dig through and PlayStation 1, and I don't think some of the cool games and fun games they really add on there. I mean, we had Time Crisis, and then they're saying, "Oh, look, we're bringing Gitaru Man from PS2, Psyops, Onimusha Dawn of Dreams." Yeah, just pants. Nothing really too exciting. It's just they always give you the worst of the worst sort of games that are failing, and games that have been out forever. So yeah, they have to do better with the PlayStation Plus and the PlayStation Premium. I think it just lets itself down. But otherwise, the PlayStation products are very, very good. This was a great presentation, but come on, let's do a little bit better and have more fun games on the PlayStation Premium. It's a letdown. Until Dawn 2. Now, Until Dawn 2 looked alright, to be honest. Probably not a day one, but probably something I'll play in the future. Again, there's thousands of those games now. From sort of similar studios. I quite like a lot of those games. I played the original. I also played like Devil Within Me and all that kind of stuff, which looks all very sort of similar. Choice Reactions. They're pretty good sort of games. But again, it's very, very sort of similar. So once you played one, you played quite a lot of them. But looked okay. Looked alright. Looks alright. So yeah, I think I've covered just about everything apart from one more thing, which was the new God of War. Was it God of War Luffy or Luffy? I call it God of War Wifey. So basically, it's Kratos' wife. I'm not sure it's quite an Egyptian kind of thing, but it's like the afterlife, and it's a woman who kicks ass. Quite exciting. This might actually affect the new sort of game coming out from Naughty Dog. If their character's a bit sort of boring, this woman, they do action sort of games very, very brilliant. I really like God of War Ragnarok. I like God of War, sort of the remake on PlayStation 4. So I'm pretty happy with that studio. I'll be playing that sort of maybe even day one. Yeah, just a woman kicking ass, funky little cube thing, and a little creature, and yeah, it's just a very sort of lovable, action-packed world. A woman was kicking ass in the Kratos' wife, so yeah, it looked brutal, looked fun, and that was probably the highlight of that. So yeah, some absolutely banging games, a few blasts from the past, a few little sequels, probably an 8 or a 9 out of 10. I think nothing like something that an amazing sequel that'd be a 10, but yeah, some pretty good solid lineups coming to the future to PlayStation, and yeah, a very, very good presentation, to be honest. So go check out some of those game trailers. For me personally, that's my opinions on some of those games. I think God of War was brilliant, Wolverine's going to be exciting, and quite a few of those later down on the line. Pick a couple and wait for them to get dirt cheap, but yeah, it's exciting times for the PlayStation 5 library over the next few years. There's lots of brilliant games. And what really stood out was sort of the graphics and how far they're sort of pushing this system is very, very exciting. So yeah, that's the state of play. And if you're new to the channel, hit the like, hit the subscribe. I do video game hunts, I do lots of gameplay. I think I'm going to go play Onimusha demo now and see if that's for me or not as well. So yeah, take care, and hopefully I'll see you in another video. Take care.